Picture this. You have your little human. You're out shopping, starting to trek along. You have a few items in the cart, and your child has a meltdown. The crying, the snot, the screaming, the wailing. As a parent, you feel upset. It angers you. It's humiliating. It's like, oh, I don't have control of my child. In this video, we're gonna talk about how to spot these meltdowns and how to diffuse them before the behavior gets out of control. As a parent, you may be wondering, what's normal? What's not normal? Is a 3-year-old tantrum normal? Is their meltdown normal? Yes, it is. It is their form of communication because they are still in the stages of gaining their vocabulary, gaining their ways to express themselves. For a 3-year-old, temper tantrums, meltdowns, whatever you want to call it, their level of frustration is, it's at a 3-year-old level. So if they're trying to do a task that is too difficult for them, like folding their laundry and putting it in the drawer. If the drawer is too tall, they're going to get frustrated because they know that the job is fold the laundry, put it in the drawer. Another one would be anger. Something has upset them and it causes them to get overwhelmed and frustrated. And so then they'll have a meltdown. A third one would be, what are the basic needs? Are they tired? Are they hungry? Or are they sick? If they're having any of those symptoms, yes, you will probably have a meltdown or a tantrum if they become overwhelmed or frustrated with a situation or something that they're trying to do or accomplish. Another one is communication. Their style of communication is, it hasn't developed yet. And so if they're crying, yelling, screaming, they're going to get attention. And so they are conveying a message to the caregiver or the parent. There is a diagram, and I want you to picture this. Picture a volcano. And in this volcano, we have the rumble stage. You see the child, and they're trying to do something, and and their face starts to get all scrunchy, and you just see it building, and it's building. When your child is in the rumble stage, their face is squinching and grimacing, and this is the most important phase because this is prior to any behavior. And so if we can recognize that they're in the rumble stage, we can diffuse it. And so that is the key. We can't necessarily stop meltdowns, but what we do is we diffuse them before we get the behavior that we don't want. Paying attention and observing that and just watching the child's behavior and the style of their communication. Every child is different. The parent knows their child best. And so cluing into that, the child will give you those answers. In picturing the volcano, we have the rumble stage. And so they're grimacing, they're starting to do their thing, they're bubbling. There is an event that triggers it. And so then we're into the rage. And that's when the volcano is erupting. We're getting all the behaviors. That's the screaming, the hitting, the biting. They can throw things. They can destroy property. They can dismantle an entire room. And no parent wants to see that. It's upsetting. After the rage stage, then we have the calming, the recovery stage. So it's the other slope of the volcano. And so in the recovery stage, this is where you may see your little one. They'll be tired. They'll be sleepy. They will be. They may say sorry. They may not. They may remember the behavior, or they may not. The rumble stage is the most important stage of the meltdown phase because if you can identify in that rumble stage the meltdowns, this is where you can do the diffusing strategies. Some common examples for meltdown type scenarios would be 1, shopping, 2, at school, and the third one would be at home. You're at a store and you're shopping. You pass by the toy department and the child sees a toy or an item, whatever they want from that section. They're screaming, they're crying, they're acting out. The way to diffuse this is if your child is verbal, say, okay, I see that you want this Hot Wheels toy, but Can you tell me how many of these do you have at home right now? Give the child a few moments to think about this. And if they come back with a number, which, I have 8 Hot Wheels, you as a parent could then say, do we really need this Hot Wheel right now? Can we leave it here for another child who may enjoy this toy as well? Then ask permission. This is the key. This is a key thing. Ask the child permission to put this item on their birthday list or a Christmas list or some type of celebration. Because to them, they just want to know that this item or this perceived item is close, it's nearby. So if they understand, hey, I can't have the actual physical item right now, mom or dad or my caregiver has said no, but I know it's on my birthday list and I can anticipate and wait. The child now understands why you said no, and hopefully that diffuses the meltdown. The first day of school, whether it's a incoming kindergartner or a new student, there is great fear, anxiety. They're going into the unknown. And so they're just like, I don't know what to expect. Am I going to have friends? Who's my teacher? Things of that nature. It may cause them stress. So how as a parent can we help diffuse that? The child at home, they may be acting out and saying, hey, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to this new school. I hate school. Kicking, screaming, not wanting to go to bed because they know in the morning they have to go to school. In taking time to talk with the child and to ease those fears and those worries, and it does require time and giving the explanation. One of the best things that you can do is to explain the schedule and when parent and child will be reunited. That eases that worry, that anxiety, that concern. And so, for instance, if the child is questioning, when will I see you again? I know that I'm going to ride the bus. I'm excited to ride the bus, but when do I get to see you again? You walk them through the process and you'll be like, okay, you're going to go to lunch. You're going to have lunch with your friends. Then it's recess. And then you're going to go to PE. After PE, you're going to go back to the classroom with your class. You're going to pack up, put everything in your backpack, your take-home folder, all that good stuff. And then you're going to walk out with your class, and then you will either, get on the bus or the parent will be in the parent pickup line. And then the student will get in the car. And then from there, you guys go either home or run errands or whatever. But now, as a parent, you have explained the process and given the child a tangible schedule or expectation. And so now they can think about it, be like, okay, I went to lunch, I went to PE, I'm packing up my backpack. Now I get to see mommy or daddy or whomever is picking them up. And so that's kind of how they tell time internally, and it helps them self-regulate. So taking the time to explain the schedule and the expected reuniting helps to really diffuse that school time meltdown. I'm going to use the example of a 5 or 6-year-old trying to learn and understand how to tie their shoe, how to put the shoe on, how to tie the shoe. In this situation, it's very taxing in the beginning because they're having to learn how to grab the laces, make the loops. The rabbit goes around the tree and then through the hole and then you pull. It's a very dexterity movement in getting this all to work. And the child can become overwhelmed and frustrated and angry. It can trigger a meltdown. As a parent, I would encourage you to assess the situation, be calm, breathe, ask questions. Ask the child, why are you frustrated? What can I do to help? And also be aware of how much time the child has spent trying to master this skill. For some children, they need to be told, okay, you can practice this skill for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then we're done. We'll try again tomorrow. Because some people feel that they have this, or some children feel that they need to be perfect at everything instantaneously. And they set that high expectation And when they can't meet that expectation, whatever they perceive in their brain, they're like, oh, I'm not good enough. Mommy and daddy are going to be disappointed. I haven't mastered this. It triggers a meltdown. If you just say, hey, we're going to learn how to tie a shoe. It's going to take probably a couple of weeks, but we're going to practice. And so as a parent, setting a time limit for practicing, staying calm, breathing, praising your child for the efforts. It helps them build self-esteem. It gives off that energy that the child is loved, they're accepted. If a parent comes in and is like, hey, why are you screaming? Or what's upsetting and this and that? The child they have the ability to match the energy and to exceed it. And then if they sense the frustration and the anger, they will meet it or amplify it. And then we start that the meltdown phase where they were rumbling because they were frustrated with learning how to tie the shoe, and now they're exploding because now it's not working. They're laying on the floor, kicking, screaming, yelling, doing whatever they do, and then it takes extra effort on the parent's side to calm them. And then we're in the recovery phase, and it's like, okay, let's try again tomorrow. One of the best things you can do to help diffuse a meltdown is to remain calm, breathe, and assess the situation and talk to your child in a calm demeanor. One of the other things to be aware of is, yes, trying to maintain a routine and a schedule is great, but we all have those extra busy, extra crazy days, and then these unknowns that pop up during the day. Please be mindful and just understand that, okay, yes, today's been crazy, and maybe my child's behavior is not going to be stellar. They might be tired, they might be hungry, or they'll be sick and that. And so to be mindful of that, be like, yeah, today was crazy. You know what? We're all just going to go home and take a nap. And, we're going to diffuse any potential meltdowns that way. Or it's, maybe it's getting food and that, but anticipating those other needs that are interfering with the normal routine. Hopefully you found this video helpful. I will have a freebie down below. It's the How to Diffuse Meltdowns Prevention List. Feel free to download that. It is a free resource for you. Thanks for watching.